What do you do when the best smartwatch in the world gets an upgrade, but barely changes? That's exactly the story of the new Apple Watch Ultra 3. It's more powerful, more refined, and packed with new tricks, yet somehow it still feels like the same watch Apple launched 3 years ago. And depending on who you are, that's either a huge win or a reason to skip it entirely. Let's get straight to the point. The Apple Watch Ultra 3 is not a revolution. It's an evolution. A very careful, very Apple-style upgrade. It keeps the same rugged design, the same massive 49mm size, and the same tough titanium build that made the first Ultra so popular. But under that familiar shell, Apple has quietly made this the most advanced smartwatch it's ever built. The most obvious change is the display. It's slightly larger this year, with slimmer bezels and wider viewing angles, so it's easier to read at a glance. Apple also added LTPO3 technology, which lets the screen refresh at just 1 Hz in always-on mode. That means it uses less power and can now show smoother complications and even ticking seconds without draining your battery. It's a small detail, but one that watch nerds will appreciate. Speaking of battery, that's another area Apple pushed forward. The Ultra 3 packs a larger battery and the new S10 chip, a much more efficient processor with a quad-core neural engine and 64 gigabytes of storage. The result? Up to 42 hours of regular use or 72 hours in low-power mode. Realistically, you'll probably see about a day and a half per charge, maybe more if you're not hammering GPS and workout tracking all day. And when you do need to charge, it's faster now, about 80% in just 45 minutes. There are a couple of headline-grabbing features here. The Ultra 3 now supports 5G RedCap, a lighter version of 5G that still lets you make calls and use data without your iPhone nearby. There's also satellite connectivity, with 2 years of emergency SOS included, which could literally save your life if you get lost off-grid. And Apple is clearly thinking about the future with a 3D-printed titanium case. Not something you'll notice day to day, but a big step in manufacturing tech. Health and fitness are still at the heart of the Apple Watch story, and the Ultra 3 adds a few useful updates. The blood oxygen app is back after its legal drama. Hypertension alerts can now warn you if your blood pressure trends upward, and sleep tracking introduces a new sleep score to grade your rest. Automatic nap detection is still here, a small but surprisingly useful touch. And if you're tracking workouts, you'll now get more advanced metrics like cadence, power zones, and cycling data, plus a redesigned workout app that's easier to use. One of the most interesting additions is the new AI-powered Workout Buddy, which gives you personalized, real-time coaching. It's powered by Apple Intelligence, so you'll need a compatible iPhone, but it's a glimpse into how Apple plans to make your watch smarter and more helpful without you having to do much. And yes, this is still a watch built for extremes. It can handle recreational diving up to 40 meters, track water temperature and depth, and withstand conditions that would destroy most wearables. But here's the thing, most people don't need all of that. The reality is, if you're not scaling mountains, diving into the ocean, or running ultramarathons, the Ultra might be overkill. Software-wise, watchOS 26 introduces a fresh liquid glass interface and new gesture controls. A simple wrist flick now lets you dismiss notifications or return to the home screen, while the double pinch gesture, one of the most loved Apple Watch features, remains as intuitive as ever. The experience feels smoother and more natural overall, but it's still locked to iPhone users. If you're on Android, the Ultra 3 is simply not an option. So here's the real question. Should you upgrade? If you're rocking the original Ultra or the Ultra 2, the honest answer is probably not. Apple hasn't done enough to make this feel like a must-have leap. The design is unchanged, and most of the new features, while nice, aren't game-changing. Your current watch is still very capable and far from outdated. But if you're new to Apple Watch or coming from a much older model, the Ultra 3 is easily the best smartwatch you can buy, if you're deep in the Apple ecosystem. Nothing else comes close in terms of build quality, software polish, and seamless integration with your iPhone. Even Samsung's Galaxy Watch Ultra or OnePlus's Dual OS Watch 3 can't really compete if you're on iOS. The bottom line is simple. Apple isn't trying to reinvent the Ultra. It's refining it. The Ultra 3 is about subtle but meaningful upgrades, not flashy reinventions. It's a sign that Apple believes it already nailed the formula back in 2022, and all it needs now is polish. And for many users, that's more than enough. But if you're expecting a dramatic new chapter in Apple's wearable story, you might find this update a little too familiar. In short, the Apple Watch Ultra 3 is the best smartwatch Apple has ever made, but also the most predictable. Better, not different. And depending on what you're looking for, that might just be exactly what you want.